guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm at a secret location in a far, far away galaxy, but you know what? There's good reason, because we have the all-new 2021 Nissan Armada. Our particular one, thank you Nissan, is that top platinum trim. But before we dive into this supersize SUV from Nissan, let's talk about what's going on here. Nissan, like I've mentioned before, is going through a little bit of a renaissance. If you don't know what that means rebirth. And what's happening is that they're changing many of their vehicles in their lineup and going to be bringing some new stuff to market. The Armada, which is the sister vehicle to that premium brand known as Infiniti, that's Nissan's premium brand, the Infiniti QX80, is promising some fresh style on the outside and some new technology on the inside. Now, with this being a full-size 3-row SUV, you are going to get V8 power underneath the hood and some different changes for 2021. So let's go ahead, let's find out, is this the king of 3-row luxury SUVs, or should you be going a different route, or is this really the better deal than the very own Infiniti QX80? So let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat for 2021, like I promised, we have some redesign going on at the front fascia. You're gonna find a whole new headlight housing, LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. You're not gonna confuse this with any other vehicle. I do love the way they bring the bodywork into that headlight housing to kind of intersect it very nicely. Some nice design element going on, but definitely looking sharp, definitely looking different. Now, as we drop down, you are going to have fog lamps and a little bit of this gloss black, which, you know what, I'm not going to zonk. It's not trying to look like a vent. I'm digging the chrome trim in this lower area, and it'll make more sense as we get to that V-motion grille, but super clean for the fog lamp housing. Now, as we come across that grille, all new for 2021, guess what? This is the first Nissan product sold in the United States to have the updated, upgraded Nissan badge. I'm loving the colors. The metallic silver with the white makes it pop. You got your forward-facing camera, all new grille design. So we have this gloss black horizontal slot, fully functional with the massive V-motion grille. That's what they call that design philosophy from Nissan. Now, you can see from the chrome trim, it matches perfectly with what's going on each corner where those fog lamps are located. As we work our way down, we have some nice metallic silver. You have this flat black open area that's going to be able to flow air, and then they brought the metallic silver on the bottom portion and gave it that simulated skid plate design, which is kind of, you know, synonymous with SUVs, and even though a lot of them don't go off-road, it gives it that off-road appearance, but definitely fresh at the front of the business. Now, when we get up onto the hood, it is new for 2021. I like the way it just kind of waterfalls down and curves nicely into the top portion of the grille. You're gonna have some body lines, lightly stamped, nothing too aggressive, nothing too sharp. I think probably my favorite parts about the grille and the hood is if you follow the V motion, the V shape, it goes into the hood. I like that kind of style. It's super clean. Now, when we come around the bend on our platinum trim, what are we working with? First of all, you're gonna have some new fender work here. I love the way they have everything painted. There's no flat black to be seen on this vehicle, especially around the fenders, but I like that nice little fender flare. But boy, oh boy, what I do like even more are these 22-inch multi-spoke wheels, that gunmetal gray with the new Nissan badge there. Of course, you're gonna get fully ventilated rotors. Nice size to slow down this super-size SUV from Nissan, but the color combo matches it. Check that off, spot on the money. Now, as we go into that fender, you are gonna get this faux vent. I am gonna zonk it because it's not functional, but it does break up. If this was not here, it'd be a little bland. I just wish they would make some functionality. I mean, think about it. There's a V8 underneath the hood. It's gonna be a lot of heat. We need some heat to get out from underneath that hood. Would have been perfect, but it does break up what could have been just a boring fender. You got a nice prominent V8 badge, let them know. Let them know you got the big stuff underneath the hood. We have some chrome on the mirror caps, some gloss black, and then you're gonna have 360 cameras. So we got cameras every which way on this SUV to give you that 360 view. Look at the way the fender flare flows nicely right into that rigid running board along the whole bottom. I think it sticks out just far enough, and you know what? I think this is big enough a vehicle to really allow that to be there. You know, sometimes they put running boards on certain SUVs. It's like, why is it even there? But this really makes sense, and I like the way it's kind of tucked in a little bit. It's not extending too far out. Chrome on the door handles, shiny metal work around the top and the bottom. You're gonna get these gunmetal gray roof rails that you could put well over 200 pounds on top of these. So think about going on that family vacation, put a cargo basket up there and just load up this behemoth. But you got the shiny metalwork, side glass, everything is gonna be the same as last year's Armada. They do a heck of a job on this rear quarter window. I mean, this thing is bigger than probably some of the windows on my house. And the way that they flare out the trim gives it a nice look as you get into that rear pillar area. Coming around the bend, what are we working with? You have a nice stubby low roof spoiler. This, I wish they would do something with this. The rear glass wiper, why is this not tucked up underneath? It would really make this look so clean to not have that guy here. You do have the upgraded Nissan badge, and look at what they did. They moved the Armada name. I'm digging the placement. The chrome trim ties in what was started at the front. We finish it off on the back. You can see the change up on the taillights, LED brake lights and everything, looking fresh, really looking connected to that headlight design. It's crazy how far the rear bumper extends off of the back of this SUV. But I'm digging it. It gives it that off-road feel, that really massive presence, but you're gonna have that nice protection as your kids pull their gear in and out of the back, and so you don't scrape up the beautiful blue paint job. I like the way they went gunmetal gray on this bottom portion. This is covering the full hitch assembly for trailering. And then I think it was super smart, no exhaust, to be seen. Our particular one is 4x4 capable, but you can also get this in two-wheel drive. But it says V8 on the fenders. Let's go pop the hood and see what's powering our Armada. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Now, on the Armada, you just have one engine choice. So that kind of simplifies everything. You just got to think about, well, do you want rear-wheel drive or do you want like ours, which is four-wheel drive? But underneath that hood is a massive engine cover. You know what? It's not too bad, though. It says V8. I like that. The Nissan badge is there. Underneath the plastic cover is that naturally aspirated 5.6 liter V8. So it pumps out 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. That is best in class. Rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive capability. It is mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission. Check this out, 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds. Think about that. This thing weighs 6,000 pounds. Limited slip diffs, 8,500 pound towing capability, which makes it best in class. And then the last piece of the puzzle are MPGs. Now, you may want to plug your ears if you don't like a thirsty vehicle, because this one is thirsty. Two-wheel drive, 14 in the city, 19 on the highway. Four-wheel drive, 13 in the city, 18 on the highway. So not really the most economical when it comes to fuel sipping, but boy, oh boy, 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. Why don't we fire up this V8 and hear what it sounds like? All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Nissan Armada, our platinum trim, four-wheel drive capability. I know you're saying, well, Joe, I've been looking at larger luxury SUVs. My family's growing. I need a larger vehicle to haul them in. I'm digging the restyle going on here. I think Nissan checked off the box, making it look more muscular. How much is it? Well, let me tell you the story about the Nissan Armada. It starts at $49,000. This one is going to be under $70,000 fully optioned. But let's see what you get for your hard-earned money. To the door panels, you're going to notice soft material. The one thing that's a little weird for me is that glossy wood trim there, that faux wood trim. It looks just like it did last year. I guess it could be worse, but what really breaks up the door panel nicely is the milk chocolate brown that nice leather with the stitch work. Even on the door handle pull to close the door shut, I like the way they brought the leather on it. And then the black portion is going to be the door pocket. You have a nice large holder for a Jersey Mike's foot-long sub, put extra pickles, and a bottle of Mountain Dew Code Purple to wash it all down. Now, when you get to the interior, you do have a nice grab handle to pull yourself in. They brought that wood trim all the way around. This is pretty much the same as last year. I do think that they did a great job on the stitch work. That's one thing where it feels really classy, nice soft touch, and then this is really the big crescendo for 2021. Drop the Apple in Times Square because we got a 12.3-inch infotainment system screen for 2021 that is the largest in class. It has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You can see we have our navigation up. Is a touchscreen. You better bet your bottom dollar you can see what your Sirius XM stations are going on and have your map up. And if you don't want to see it, real easy, just like that. Now I am going to hit the forward-facing camera button. There we are looking out front. You do have trajectory and you do have a 360 cam. The only challenge is it is a little grainy. I can change the view and show you that beautiful 22-inch multi-spoke gunmetal gray wheel. I'll throw it into reverse. There's our backup camera. Same story. It's a little grainy, but it does have trajectory. I just wish that it would take up more of this visual real estate rather than these two small areas over here. I'll put it back in the park. New for 2021. Check it out. You have a digital rear view mirror. Many vehicles are getting these now. Super clear. I wish whatever camera quality they used on this, they would put into their actual backup cameras, but I really like having that option, especially on a larger SUV. Now, as I go back to menu, here's all your touch screen. You can easily slide, see what time it is. Very, very easy to use, very intuitive, and then we're right back in navigation. Some gloss black. You got your two AC vents nicely integrated. You're gonna have heated seats and ventilated seats, which are wonderful, and a heated steering wheel, of course. We have our dual climate control, easy to figure out. The Armada name, our start-stop button all the way over here, but I like the way this Armada name looks. Nice brushed aluminum, then watch this. Open sesame, wireless charging, and a 12-volt, and it's all hidden. I do like that. It gives it a nice clean look. USB, USB-C, and then there's that trailer control for when you're towing. That's new for 2021. And then there's more of that stitching. I told you there's tons of stitching. You have this brushed aluminum knob to go into your four-wheel drive or leave it in auto. Plus you have tow mode and snow mode. This is going to control that 7-speed automatic. We have more of that wood trim. Open up the door, 2 cup holders, and then here is your key fob. The good news is it's super small, and they did change the Nissan badging. I just wish it looked a little different, a little bit classier, but you know what? It's still one of those key fobs that's not going to hurt you in the family jewels, which is nice. But we'll close that up. You do have a direct drive control knob to go through your infotainment if you don't want to hit the screens. I like the silver, and then we get to the armrest. Check out how wide it is. Nice soft leather. We're going to lift it up, and then guess what? I hope you like felt lining because you got plenty in here. You could put your iPhone 47, that gold one. It's not going to get scratched. And then guess what? You could easily put a box and a half of Twinkies in there, and they're not going to get scratched either because no guy wants a scratched Twinkie. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now. Seats. They're almost like Lazy Boy style. The way they're so wide, the diamond pleated stitching. Of course, you're going to get full electric assist for the passenger and the driver, and they're that chocolate brown color, which is nice. And then you're going to get a sunroof. The zonk is you're getting just a sunroof. It would be nice to have a panoramic sunroof, especially at this price point, but I guess something is better than nothing. But you know what? Why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you what changes are on the 2021 Armada. All right, guys, business time. Now, on the driver's side, you do get 2 memory seat settings. You have your seat controls, easy to get to. What would be nice is some massaging seats. But you know what? Still, the seats are very, very comfy. I got plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, here it is. New horn button. I like the stitch work on the horn button. You got that beautiful Nissan badge. Very classy. It pops right off of it. I wish the steering wheel was just a little thicker, but I do like the contrast stitching, just like a baseball. A little bit of gloss black, and you have those older controls, but the good news is they're easy to use and they're easy to understand, which is wonderful. And then you have your dash set up there. What's great is you have an analog tach, analog speedometer, 7-inch digital display in the center that you could toggle through a whole all-you-could-eat buffet of readouts. That's what makes it really nice. And then, of course, you're going to get that safety protection from Nissan, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, all that good stuff. I guess the big argument is I would probably hear from you guys and put it in the comment section. Do you want a full digital 12-inch display? I'm sure that's a rhetorical question, but I'm very curious if you think that maybe Nissan should have changed that up. But why don't we go ahead? We talked about up front. Let's get to the mid-row and see how your passengers are going to feel like captains of their own ships in the mid-row of this Armada. All right, guys, mid-row, and you know what? Like I said, you could be the captain of your own ship, because what you're going to find are two captain's chairs with a really nice center console area. Now, new for 2021 is you're going to get these upgraded 8-inch integrated into the headrest monitors on both sides, so your passengers can keep themselves occupied. You do have large pockets. Put an abacus in there, put a book. Let's say all the electricity dies, like everything just dies. You're going to want to have something that doesn't require any electricity. Keep that book back there. We do have heated seats, but no ventilated seats. And at this price point, I would like to see ventilated seats. You have your AC controls, easy to figure out and get to. Here's some smart engineering. Let's say I want something out of the center console. I could get right into the center console without having to ask the passenger or the driver. And then sitting here, plenty of room. I like the way they put the AC vents up higher, so it's not just blowing my knees. And then this thing is crazy. You got storage. You can fill this up with Pringles and Lay's chips so easily. Close that up. Cup holders, of course, we got two. And then, oh, let me show you the cup holders. There's the cup holders with the wood trim. And then to top things off, we have our own center console display, which you could easily put a football in there. And there's our wireless headphones for the entertainment system. Yeah, I like this. But why don't we go ahead? This feels great. I'm curious what that third row is all about. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, time to get into that third row. I want to show you something. Come in a little closer. Now, what's great is that the seats are manual to get the seat to go forward. But I've never seen a mid-row seat move this fast. So if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle. Look at that. Flips right up, and now I have plenty of real estate to climb into the back. Now, it is a little bit of a climb, so the good news is I do have a grab handle, and we have that running board. And here we go. 1, 2. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and slide in. Now, let me go ahead and get the headrest out of my back. It's probably going to be something you want to do right away so it doesn't hurt your back. But, so yeah. So the good news is I got plenty of headroom. 6 feet tall. I got AC vents back here, which is nice. I have a power tilting seat back here, which is really great. And it kind of lowers a little bit as well. The bad news is my knees are way high. The good news, though, is even though the seat is all the way back, I still have some leg room here. I'm not like pressed up against the seat like that. But is this as comfortable as I want to be? No. Do you have any connectivity back here? No. So that is a little bit of a zonk. They could have put USB somewhere, but I have two cup holders and I do have this power adjustable seat. But you know what? Let's check out that cargo area because I want to know how much we could haul in this supersize Armada. All right, guys, time to open up that rear cargo area on our 2021 Nissan Armada. You're just going to hit the button. It's going to open up. It's a little bit of a gingerly pace. I wish it was a little quicker and it didn't beep so much. But once that rear lift gate is up, you could see we have about 17 cubic feet of space. Now, the good news is we have 17 cubic feet of space. The bad news is we have 17 cubic feet of space. The competition has a little bit more room, but the good news is you do have a 12 volt on the driver's side at the back end of the business. So if you're camping, if you're tailgating or whatnot, even if you're at the beach and your kids want you to blow up that one huge raft that just causes you to almost lose your breath from blowing it up, you could get yourself an electric air pump and just plug it in right back there. Now, when it comes to the third row, everything is done through these buttons here, and you're gonna just have to hold them down, and I'm gonna do it at the same time, and those seats are gonna fold down just as gingerly as the hatch, as the rear hatch opens. But once they are down, you're gonna be able to open up a lot more room than 17 cubic feet of space. You're now looking at about 50 cubic feet of space. You fold down those captain's chairs, you're then looking at over 100 cubic feet of space, and that's gonna allow you to be so versatile with this Armada and really go to Costco and just clean house. You go Costco once a month and get it all in there. But speaking of Costco, we need to go do a Costco run. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Armada for a little spin. All right, guys, we're in the Nissan Armada 2021. Big changes right away. Every time I drive one of these, I always feel like I'm at a really great vantage point. You can see the top of the hood really well. The windshield size is spot on the money, the way they kind of spread the A-pillars far apart. And boy, oh boy, the addition of that digital rearview mirror, you can see that Kia Optima behind us coming up. Very, very clear. Now, the good news is, with having that new large 12.3-inch infotainment system, it's easy to get to, and the height of it is perfect to where it's not blocking any of my visual reference. As you can see, never a dull moment on Rady's rides. People like to zoom all over the place, typical Florida nonsense, but getting to the infotainment system is very easy. You have that touchscreen capability. Gauges, yes. I know a lot of you are putting in the comment section as I speak right now that you want a digital cluster, the whole thing to be digital. Well, 7 inches is close, but yes, I would agree that it would be nice, especially on the Platinum trim, to have a whole full 12-inch digital display. But the gauges are very easy to read, which is wonderful. Steering wheel has a nice feel to it. I like the way it's easy to access the buttons and you can keep both hands on the wheel very, very easily. Visibility, side mirrors are phenomenal. You got that digital rearview mirror taking care of business for you. And it is definitely smoother. They did increase the thickness of the side glass, which is wonderful. And they went with some sound canceling on the windshield. And you're definitely noticing that in here. But you know what time it is. What time is that? Yes. On throttle, here we go. So you have that V8 5.6 liter getting us going down the road. The 7-speed shifts so nicely. I wish Nissan would use this transmission more in their different models rather than the CVT that they use in so many of them. Shifts so buttery smooth. Seats are comfy, especially if you like a nice wide seat. The bottom is wide, the back portion is wide. It's gonna fit many different body types very, very well. And everywhere you're touching, soft touch material. Now, if you're hearing a sound that sort of reminds you of an old alarm clock, that is the lane keep assist. So instead of it like an audible lane keep assist, what the steering wheel does, it vibrates when it feels you going over. So that's what that is. But on throttle, here we go. You're getting a very nice V8 sound, that naturally aspirated power. What does that do for you? It brings the torque in at a very low RPM and it carries it all the way through redline. You're not waiting for turbos to spool up, and you definitely have plenty of power. You're not going to be wanting for more power. Maybe the one thing you might be yearning for is a little bit better MPG, but hey, that's all part of the game. You want a big SUV with a big V8? They drink a little bit more than your Prius wagon does. So just something to think about. But your passengers in that mid row are going to be loving life, captain's chairs. And like I said, if somebody is smaller, the third row is not going to be too big of a challenge for them. It's just, if you're trying to get a 6-foot tall person back there, they're going to feel a little cumbersome getting back there. But let's take her out on the highway, see how she drives. I really think they did some great work with the suspension tuning, the chassis tuning. As we get onto the highway, do you hear that? Exactly. You shouldn't be hearing much because it is very, very quiet in here. And it's vehicles like this Armada that make me start to think, do we really need Infinity? Like, this Armada is so close to the QX80. I'm not so sure if I would go that route, especially with the extra money that you're going to have to spend. But infotainment, like I said, it's nice to have that ability to see your Sirius XM channels very easily. And then if you want the map back, and I think the thing you're going to love the most, especially if you've never used it, is going to be that wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That will win you right away as soon as you access that capability. But driving down the road here, No vibrations, super smooth, super quiet. It soaks up the bumps really well, even with the 22-inch wheels. Watch this. Over the expansion joints, no big deal. And then, like I said, you have all the safety features that Nissan brings to the table with their full 360 shield of protection to make sure that you arrive alive every single time. I think that if you have kids, you're definitely gonna love the 8-inch monitors in the back. It's just, I kind of feel like they left some places untouched that they should have touched. For example, not in love with that gray wood granite trim, whatever you want to call it. And the steering wheel, even though the buttons are easy to use and easy to understand, it just looks a little dated, especially when you look at the front of this Nissan Armada. People have been looking and saying to themselves, wow, that thing looks 21st century. But the steering wheel does not really have that same feeling. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall experience of what the 2021 Armada is all about. I'm so glad we could bring it to you first before they show up at the dealership. We're gonna get back to our special location and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day with this Nissan Armada. I definitely got to thank Steve and everybody over at Nissan USA for allowing Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle before they're even available at the local dealerships. I think Nissan is doing the right thing. They're trying to get back to where they once were, at the top of the heap in the automotive industry. Slowly but surely, they're redesigning, they're refreshing, they're updating, and they're bringing new models. And definitely with this Armada, if you want something that's V8 powered, 400 horsepower, has that best-in-class towing capability, I think you need to add this to your list if you're looking for a luxury style SUV, and this may be the one to get over their very own Infiniti QX80. But if you want to keep seeing large and in-charge SUVs on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She's going to be winning tons of awards from YouTube for 2021. So show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.